I'm Scorpius Malfoy.
Harry! It's Harry Acklowe!
It's so lovely to finally meet you from the other side of the pond.
Oh my gosh, it's a pleasure. I've been looking forward to getting a chance to chat with you. So this is
it's
special.
lovely. I mean, we've been brought together today by the lovely people from WhatsOnStage and Theatre Mania. You have a lovely phrase for it. I can't remember what do you call it?
The International Society of Scorpii, I think maybe is a good.
It's
a good one.
Genius branding you've made for us there. I've got to ask you, like, what's your favourite thing about playing Scorpius? Like, what do you enjoy most about getting to play the character?
Oh my goodness. Truly, the greatest pleasure in the world is the people that I get to work with at the Lyric Theatre on Broadway.
Yeah.
I'm sure that the experience is the same at the Palace.
Absolutely.
And then, like, Scorpius in particular is, and this is sort of interesting, we'll get into this, but, like, we have slightly different versions of the play that we're working from. But Scorpius has such a beautiful arc, and just getting to play that every night is, like, such a treat. And also what a special, silly, humorous character. Like, I just adore his sense of humor, and it's so fun to, tinker with and play with, and he's a beautiful person to get to spend a lot of time with, I think. What about you? Do you have a favorite part?
I completely agree. It's the thing, isn't it? Like, he's such a lovely character that you want to root for throughout the story. It's really nice to be given the pleasure to be the character that is more light-hearted in a world of people that are dealing with quite a lot of trauma. His way of dealing with that is to be the light in the darkness.
Yes, beautifully said. Yeah. So and speaking of, like, obviously we've been running in New York. We just celebrated a 6th anniversary on Broadway, and
congratulations.
It's been special to be in the company for the 5th and 6th anniversary. But at the Palace Theatre, in the original production, you're coming up on 8 years this week, right? What's that like?
Yeah, that's right. It's crazy. I remember when the show first came out. I remember seeing all the articles. I remember seeing the first cast photos came out for the show, and I remember seeing it, and I didn't actually manage to see it until I think I saw the year 5 cast. It's so special to be a part of that. I mean, I didn't know that you've been there for the year 5 and 6. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to get to be a part of that celebration. The Harry Potter world is so special to so many people, that it's lovely to be a part of that legacy and get to be here on such a momentous occasion. I'm really looking forward to the evening of celebration.
I'm sure it'll be a blast.
Our parents didn't get on.
You do not want to do this.
Yes, I do.
Expelliarmus!
Are you a big Harry Potter fan yourself?
Yeah, like I really grew up on it, on the audiobooks,
Yes.
and the movies, and so it was kind of a real treat when I started in the audition process, like getting to kind of re-enter that world and revisit the books and revisit the films and rediscover that love that I had as a child. I had Harry costumes and Draco my hair was even blonde. It was about Scorpius color when I was a little boy.
Really?
And so I would get a lot of are you Draco Malfoy? Are you Draco Malfoy?
What about, so if you could play another part from the play, who would you want to be?
I would be curious to hear if you have the same answer. For me, it is without question Severus Snape.
Really?
Oh my gosh! Like, Stephen Spinella, I'm coming for your role. Yeah. Oh my gosh! And doing those scenes with him every night, I'm like, oh gosh! It would be so fun to be Snape in these scenes. Like, what a character!
That is the thing. Is there's these real iconic characters, isn't there, that people know so well. So it's like you say, it's real fabulous characters that are part of this story.
Special stuff, and maybe the Trolley Witch also. If I could swing both of those. What about you? What about you?
I love the Umbridge.
Oh, how could you not?
I mean, what a part! I think it's fabulous. Our Umbridge is actually from Broadway.
Oh yeah.
And so she was the original on Broadway. So it's really lovely. No, it's a little bit of the international exchange program, you know.
Sure.
Yeah, and she's absolutely fabulous. So, but one day I would love to take that on.
Gosh, that scene kind of, I guess at the beginning of part 2 for you, and the beginning of Act 2 for me.
Yes.
Is with Umbridge is just sort of, I guess spoiler alert, I should have said maybe, is just so fun to see what, you know, Karen is our Umbridge, or you know, any of the covers, what they're going to do with that scene on any given night is pretty delicious, I think.
I'm nothing like my dad. You're better. You're my best friend, Albus.
All right, so speaking of spoiler alerts, you know, we're traveling in time in this play. And
yeah, absolutely.
So I've got to ask, if you had a time turner, Harry, where are you traveling to?
Such a good question. Do you know what I'd really love to see? That I mean, this is very topical, but it's a thing that lots of people talk about throughout, that I heard a lot in the rehearsal process, is when that first Harry Potter book came out, people speak about how it just exploded, and apparently, like, you'd be sat on the tube and you'd look down the tube and everyone is sat there reading this like children's book. That's what it originally was, you know. Obviously it ended up becoming this massive legacy, but I'd be so curious to see that before everyone knew these like iconic characters, before everyone knew what the journey that all these people were going to go on. And like it's such a massive institution, Harry Potter, that everyone knows it. I think you could go to the most deserted part of the world, you'd still find someone that knew Voldemort and Avada Kedavra, you know?
Yeah. Without question.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, to your point, I still will see people on the subway from time to time reading the books, you know, grown adults. It's not, and it's not as frequent as I'm sure it was when they were first coming out, but on occasion on my way to the theater, I will see someone, or even just in a Harry Potter shirt or something, and it's kind of fun to think like, oh, I'm on my way to go do the play right now.
Yeah.
And
I wonder if those people maybe are on their way to come see it.
To go see them. They're studying up before their night.
You're brushing up on their knowledge.
Maybe. You were asking where I would go in time. I don't know. I think if there's one thing I've learned from the play, it's maybe don't travel in time.
Yeah, don't mess with it. Speaking of, obviously, we have two kind of different jobs. That you do a one-part version of the show, but we do slightly different version of the show that's more, it's like a director's cut. Director's cut, yeah. With different, some extra scenes added in the mix. But I don't know about you, but I get absolutely exhausted by the end of the day.
Oh,
but
yeah.
What's something in your dressing room that's an absolute must, can't do without, that helps you get through the show day?
You know, I think, without question, the first answer to that question is Joel Myers, who plays Albus in New York. It's just so much fun. We share a dressing room, and I don't know if you and Alice share a dressing room. But
we do.
We have about as much fun off stage as we do on stage, I think. But okay, this is sort of an interesting one though. Is I've got a cup that is specifically my hot water cup. And I will drink throughout the show warm water, even on a hot day. And I just find it's sort of, it's a lot of talking, you know, this role.
Yeah.
And it can wear vocally a little bit, and that warm water is sort of nice and soothing. Because I don't necessarily have time in between scenes to make a cup of tea, but I can just get a little bit of hot water. And that's sort of an interesting thing, and people have picked up on it, and they'll see me walking around with it, and they're like, it's Harry Potter themed too, and they'll say, oh, it's the hot water cup, it's the hot water cup. that's sort of silly and not something I ever thought I would enjoy. Just like a tall glass of warm water.
Warm water.
It kind of gets me through sometimes. And applesauce.
Yeah.
I eat applesauce at intermission. That's sort of my little like
Love it.
quick, easy to digest snack to get me through. What about you? Is there anything in your dressing room or any sort of rituals or superstitions that sort of help you focus up for the show or keep you in the zone?
I mean, maybe my biggest kind of ritual is I go to the toilet about 1,000,000 times
Yeah.
before the show starts. Just make sure that I cannot be caught, because once it gets going, there's no chance to stop.
Oh my goodness, especially that V-World section. It's like if you at the beginning of V-World, if you have to use the restroom, you're holding it for a while.
You're done. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a big superstitious man, so I don't know if I've got anything particular. But yeah, in terms of pre-show rituals, that's probably the only thing I can really say.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, whatever gets you through. It's
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Lumos! If it takes centuries, we must find our son.
It's such a pleasure to get to talk to you. I think that these are really special characters, and it's exciting to get to sort of character. It's one character, I guess, that we're sharing, and it's really neat to get to connect and hear a little bit about what your journey has been like with it. It feels sort of like we're living in parallel universes, I think.
Yeah.
So thank you for chatting. Thank you for sharing.
No, thank you, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you finally. Like I say, it's a real lovely bridge between two worlds. It's lovely.
Yeah, I hope maybe I'll get to catch you on stage at some point.
Yes,
and
likewise.
And see the 2-part version. I've read it. I've read the original 2-part version a gazillion times, but I never saw it. So it's all been the 1-part version for me.
Yeah, I've not seen the 1-part version either. So I'm again really curious to see how it plays out.
Well, you're welcome anytime at the Lyric Theatre. And I should ask, have you gotten to see the school edition?
No.
Oh, no. If you get the chance to see if any of the schools in England nearby are doing the school edition, and you get the chance to go, we got to go to the first American production, and it was the most heartwarming, like it's the best production of Cursed Child I've ever seen.
Wow.
I guess the only other version I've seen is the version that I'm in.
Can't say that's your favorite.
See the magic come alive in these students was just incredible. I can't recommend it.
That's wonderful.
Thanks for chatting, Harry.
I'd love to. Yeah, thanks for chatting with me as well, Aaron.
And a massive thank you to What's on Stage and Theatre Mania for this edition of West End versus Broadway. I guess we were maybe supposed to fight a little bit more. It's a versus thing, I guess. But feel free, please go check out Harry in Cursed Child London at the Palace Theatre. And if you're in New York, feel free to check us out on Broadway at the Lyric Theatre. And I guess there's only one thing left to say, Harry, which is probably a certain word that starts with a W. Wizzo.
Oh yeah, I was like Wingardium Leviosa.
No, we can't. We've got to. We can't have a meeting of the International Society of Scorpi without.
Yeah, it's the official sign off.
I think so. All right.
Wizzo.
Thank you, Harry. Wizzo.
Thank you, Erik.
I solemnly swear I'm up to no good.